Pressed in pilot jets. What a terrible design. So what we're going to cover in this video is how to remove, clean, and reinstall pilot jets that are pressed into the car body versus screwed in. I believe they should be screwed in because it is a serviceable item. Usually people have to take them out to clean it, clean the car properly. This is the first thing to clog when you're working on a carburetor. The orifice size on a pilot jet is typically like 20 thousandths of an inch in diameter. So you can imagine that it doesn't take much varnish or gunk or whatever to clog that guy up. And worse off is when you go into the parts fish diagram, the fishy finder, they usually list this as a non-removable, non-purchasable part. Typically, if it's screwed in, it's shown as, hey, it's a part and you can order it and whatnot. And if you do need to order these, 4-into-1 has them, and so does Jets R Us. So that's typically like where I buy these things. So anyway, let's go ahead and we're gonna remove it, clean it, reinstall it, talk about it, and so forth. So let's go ahead and remove it first. Okay, how we're gonna get this out is we're gonna slide a piece of tubing over this and then clamp down with it with vice grips and wiggle it out. So I'm just gonna go a little longer than the jet. So just like that. Okay. Now we're gonna put vice grips over on this. Now we're gonna clamp it down, and the reason for clamping it over the rubber hose is so we don't damage the jet, put marks in it. But notice this is going to clamp here, and this is on an angle. We're going to want to pull straight out and twist. Don't rock it back and forth because you could screw up the press of the jet. So we're just going to go like that. Just get a snug fit on there. Okay, so that's on there. Notice it's an angle, but I'm going to try to grab it over here, and we're just going to pull straight out. Let me get a different position on this. Okay, so here we are. And it looks like the tubing's going instead of the jet, so I'm going to clamp down it on a little harder. All right, tubing is still going. So a little more snug. There we go. All right, so that just popped right out. Nice. And you can see that we put a little bit of marks on the jet, but you know, that's still usable. This is an original Keihin jet. It's 42. That's what it's supposed to be. There's a little bit of blockage there, just a little bit. All right, so here's a closer look of what this jet looks like. Here it is at 4-into-1, and you can see this area right here where my mouse is. It's just, it's a press fit feature. And another thing you'll notice is this jet has no drive slot for a screwdriver. As compared to every other pilot jet on the planet, you can see that this one is threaded and it has a slot here for a screwdriver, and that's really the way it should be because these get dirty and they need to be serviceable. Okay, so now that we have the jet out, what I like to do and my favorite method for cleaning these nowadays is to vapor blast it in my DIY wood vapor blaster. So you can see just using low pressure and just aiming it all around this guy, and actually if you aim it through the orifice, the slurry actually flows right through the jet. The tiny little beads go in there and scrub the frickin' thing perfectly clean, and it really brightens up the brass, and you can read the frickin' numbers on it and everything, and you can see the logo in most cases and whatnot. So it's just my favorite way to clean these guys. Okay, another thing you might want to do is get a little magnifying glass. I got this lighted loop, so it's a magnifying glass or loop, and it has a light on it.
So what's cool is you can hold it up to here, you know, hold it close to your eye and get a really close look at this passage. Now it's not going to show up on the camera, me doing this, but man, I can really get in there and look and see if this is open, if there's any little crud hiding in here, because sometimes varnish builds up in here and you may think you poke it through and whatnot, but that varnish is still there and it breaks loose and clogs later. Okay, another thing you can do is just take this and hold it up to the light and look through it. And if you can see right through it, then it's clear, right? But even further, you can take this guy here, the lighted loop, and just get here and then look right into the freaking light bulb. And you can kind of twirl it around and see how good it looks and whether you did a good job cleaning it. So this is a pretty cool tool. I'll leave a link in the video description. Also, it's good if you get a splinter or sliver in your finger and then you need tweezers to pull it out. Well, this thing works awesome for getting those metal shavings out of your finger. Okay, now that it's clean, now it's time to install it, and all you do is just tap it in. Okay, next up is this Slow Jet, and we are going to have to put a little pressure on there. So make sure you have a block of wood under here supported so we can tap that down a little bit. Okay, so I got a little brass hammer here.
Just tap it in. Just tap it in. Give it a little tappy.
That's it, we're in. So that's nice and snug in there. Make sure it's fully bottomed as well. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you're looking for more motorcycle content, obviously there's a lot here on my YouTube channel and on my website, but Cody from Motorcycle MD and myself have created a couple courses for you. One's free. It's the, man, my drawer keeps opening here. We have a free motorcycle maintenance course, and then we have the master class, which is not free, but it has tons of content in there, and that's something you're definitely going to want to check out. So links will be in the video description.